Okay, Year 2's last day of phonics for this week. Well done. I know it's been a bit tricky for some people getting your head around all these different rules for different things, but I promise you, once you start to understand the rules, doesn't matter what the suffix is, we kind of do the same thing. So here are our 5 tricky words for this week. I would like you to use all 5 of them in a sentence. Okay? So use floor in a sentence, use pour in a sentence, use door in a sentence, use because, use find. If you can use more than one in one sentence, that means you have to write less sentences. Okay? I don't mind how you do it. Could you please underline floor, pour, door, because, and find in your sentences though? Because then it would make it a lot easier for me to see it. And when you start a new sentence, can you start a new line in your book? Because some of you, when you've come to writing in your book, you're just writing one sentence after another, and it's really difficult to see where one sentence finishes and where one sentence begins. Also, remember it's a sentence, so can you make sure that you've got full stops and capital letters? If you can include an adjective and a conjunction as well to make your sentences even more brilliant, that's fantastic. Okay, remember everything we learn you should be using all the time, or as much as you possibly can. If you can chuck an adverb in there, wow, I'll be impressed. Okay, so now you've done your 5 sentences. I've now got 5. There's a lot of recapping today, and then you're going to go ahead and write some sentences. So here I've got 5 words. I want you to change hike to hiking, love to loving, and then the other 2. Can you read them? Can you change it to ing words? Remember the rule. If there's a split diagraph, you take away the E and add the ing. Okay? Pause it now. Okay, now you've unpaused. I'm going to write it. So, hike. Remember, we don't put the E in. And we write ing. Love. Love is a funny one because although it's got the E on the end, it doesn't really have a split diagraph, but it still follows the same rules. So L-O-V-I-N-G. Take becomes taking. Take away the E, add ing. And then write becomes writing. Now write has a silent W at the beginning of it. So we want to write writ and then ing. If you can hear any noise in the background, that's because my sons are upstairs banging around. So I do apologise for that. Right then, let's move on. So now we're going to spot the verb in the sentence and then change it to an ing word and then add is or was. Or in the case of the first one, actually, we can write am. So you're going to write the sentence down. I note down the phone number. You're going to copy that sentence in your book and you're going to underline the verb in the sentence. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you are going to, hopefully everybody's written it down, otherwise I'm going to give you the answer. Note was the verb. And then so you're going to write, I am noting down the phone number, or I was noting down the phone number. Because it's I, you've got to use am or was. But you're going to use your ing verb. So change that sentence. And then do the same with this one. Sam hikes up the mountain. Copy it into your book, underline the verb, and then write the next bit. I'm going to let you do that. You'll set that one yourself. So pause it and then we'll come back and we'll do it together. Okay, so let's have a go at this one. So I'm going to put was note. So we take away the E and add noting means to write. Or I remember. I was noting, that's a horrible D, down the phone number. Just want to take a minute to talk about handwriting a second. So you are year twos now. You should be getting your letters round the right way, but also formed correctly and also the correct size. So these T's and the D's and the H's and the B, they're all tall letters. They should be hitting the top of the gap in your between your lines. So they should be hitting the line above it. Whereas letters like W, A and S, they should be smaller. I should be seeing now a difference in size. Try not, if these are my lines, try not to write was like as big as that, because then you can't see the difference between when you come to do a tall letter. So if I was to write the next to it, I would then have T-H-E like that. There's no difference in size between the T, the H and the E, and there's got to be a difference now. Okay, we're halfway through year two. You should be starting to do this if you don't already. I know some of you do it. I'm aiming at those people that don't. So the W, the A and the S should be halfway really between the two lines. Right, sorry for that detour. So Sam is hiking up the mountain. So Sam, capital S. So can you see my A and my M are smaller? And the same with hikes as well. The K and the H are smaller than the I and G. Sam, oh, I forgot a word. Is. Silly Mr. Copping. Sam is hiking up the mountain. Mountain's a funny one because it has mountain, but we don't say ain, we say in. So, and oh, I forgot my full stop over there, so I put my full stop in. So I've got my capital letter and my full stop. Okay, so your main activity for today, that's me done with now. What I want you to do is take your sheet from yesterday, and it should look a bit like this. Or in fact, it should look exactly like this if you've got it right. So I've separated them out. So the reds are the ones where we didn't change. The blues are where we're taking away the E and then adding ing. So what I want you to do is pick at least, and I've said pick 3, but try and do at least 3 words of each colour and use them in a sentence, but use it the ing way. So, and remember you've got to use is or was or am if you're doing I. Now try not to start every sentence with I am, okay? So if I was to pick one, my sister was moaning that I was watching the television. Or I am baking some brownies. The ship was floating on the ocean. Okay, they're a bit boring sentences. So, I was cheating at my maths test and looking at the answers of my friend. So let's try. So here's zooming. So the amazing rocket was zooming through deserted space and heading towards the sun. So you're trying to make your sentences as interesting as possible, trying to add in those conjunctions, those adjectives, those adverbs if you can. So all you're doing is 6 sentences. Remember what I said about sentences? Start a new one on a new line and remember your capital letters and full stops, because that's what I'm going to be looking for when I mark your work tomorrow. Okay? Good luck, everybody.